Tanya, you should have just left it. You was doing so well. Tanya. 6 months. 6 months without being without being on the front lines, without any crazy bullshit in the army, just studying away in the university as a 10-year-old, which is obviously normal in this world. But hey, I guess that's what it is. And now you're back on the front lines, or worse than the front lines. You're leading a battalion, basically. Yeah, all eyes are on you, Tanya. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, guys. Welcome to article Chris is Talking, and I'm speaking quiet because it is 1:27 in the morning in the UK, and I shouldn't be getting my neighbours pissed off because my hair keeps on moving the shit. So it's going to be a bit quieter than usual. I'm saying quieter. I have a feeling I turned the gain up on my microphone, so it might not be that much quieter. But hey, how are you guys doing today? So this is the weekly anime review for Youjo Senki Saga of Tanya the Evil. This is for episode 4. Wow, we are really blowing through this series. This episode was a more chilled episode. It focused more on characterization. It focused more on kind of the plot, I guess. Kind of like where we're placing Tanya and how she gets to the position that we saw her in episode 1, where she was leading the battalion. So we know it's going to happen, and just how it got there. And initially we thought, before this episode, I thought that like the battalion thing happened because she wanted to be. But then as the episodes went on, you found out that Tanya really wants nothing to do with the army. She just wants to survive. She wants to live. Being X is trying his hardest to really fuck up her life. And Tanya's like, please just leave me alone. And we realize this from last week's episode. This week's episode starts 6 months later from last week's episode, when she left the front lines and she's studying. She's in university. She's being a teacher's pet. She's using her knowledge of how life worked in her previous life, which is kind of hilarious, before her reincarnation, to kind of manipulate the outcomes of what's happening in her current life. So this is also including things like what happened in the World War with Germany and everything, and the issues that went wrong there, and how because they went wrong there, then you should kind of be aware that Germany will lose the World War, and the fact that this mini war that's going on now will be a world war. And she addresses this when we get introduced to a new character, Vice Director Zephyr, and the way he was speaking to her, the way he's being all nice, and he introduced himself in this episode, seemed like he's going to be like an ally. And Tanya was so fucking happy to have an ally like that, and to be able to actually have somebody, to meet someone that high up, because of the kind of person that she stands out in the army. First of all, she's a fucking 10-year-old, so that's going to make her stand out anyway. But the fact that she's good at her job, and she's quite strict, and basically she's jumping through the ranks, and her mage powers, her magic levels are high. All these things are basically making arrows point at Tanya. So it's kind of like, all right, if she could have a connection to the higher ups, it means that she could probably eventually just leave the army somehow and just get like an office job, but be higher up, but do nothing, which is what we all want to fucking do at some point in our lives. But no, Tanya, she gets called to the office of Vice Director Zephyr, and he asks her about her opinion about the war. And she basically, as I said earlier, she lets him know about her opinion. But basically, this is the information that she remembered from her previous life about the fact that she basically, in a nutshell, said that Germany are going to lose the World War, and that it's not going to go as smoothly as possible. So you should do other things to avoid actually getting into it. Now, you don't really want to be saying that. As smart as you sound, these people who are running basically the war, they don't want to hear that. Okay, unless they are definitely the good guys, and he was asking her to find a way to stop the war. His question wasn't how should we stop the war. His question was, what is your opinions about the war? And initially she was given the right answer, and then she just kept on talking, and basically ended up sticking her foot in her own mouth. And then she was like, oh shit. And then he was basically saying, oh, so you're telling us that you're not even going to try it. So what do you mean? That's when she realized, shit, she kind of put her foot in her mouth. And then she ends up mentioning a way of how it could win with the mages, and how in this world things could work. Now, Now, Tanya, what you don't realize is that because all eyes are on you, and we don't know who's pulling the strings apart from being X. We don't know whether he's in one of the other characters or whether he's pulling the strings like continuously, whether it's like just from another dimension. So like what we do know is that don't give away too much information, especially as the fact that you're in the limelight. If you sound that smart and you're high and you're just jumping through the ranks, of course they're going to try and bloody use you. This was obvious from the first few episodes. So it's a shame that she didn't realize this, and now because of that she's going to be leading the battalion, and she is not happy because she thought her life was going to be peaches and roses, and it is not. We do get introduced to another officer, and he basically ends up he meets Tanya in a coffee shop and asks her why is she doing it, why does she volunteer to be in the war, and then we get like a little bit of characterization about Tanya's family and stuff as Tanya in this life, and you find out the fact that she's an orphan, her dad left her, her parents well, God knows, I don't know what the bloody thing was, but basically her life is shit. What's important is that I was kind of intrigued to know that she even had that, and obviously we saw her be given birth to, we saw her get born. Is that even a fucking sentence? We basically see her get given birth, but bro, okay, basically she was born and we saw that. So it's interesting to see why we don't get to see anywhere else, but we do know she was an orphan, so we get a bit of characterization with her. But the way that she was speaking to this guy, it seemed like she was being nice, but because we're also getting to hear her in a monologue, it's kind of fucked up, because it's kind of like she's using his weaknesses to be able to manipulate him, and that's really messed up. And this kind of shows her character. Every time we get a bit of her in her monologues, we kind of get more of an understanding of how her character was prior to her becoming Tanya. Like whoever as a salary man before, they're like basically how manipulative and how much of a prick he was, and probably why he got pushed in front of a train. Yeah, he fired that guy, but people get fired, so it's not even really that deep. But we get to see that it's probably is a lot deeper than that. So I made another note. So, another thing is, near the beginning of it, when she, I think it was actually at the beginning, when she finishes the lecture, she's just sitting there, she's just cleaning her gun, just for the sake of it. And the lecturer's like, why are you cleaning your gun? You're not on the front lines anymore. And she basically makes up some big old bullshit spiel that the gun keeps her safe, and she feels uneasy if it's not clean, and it needs to be ready at all times. And he's like, okay, and basically he's seen it as she's got some PTSD kind of fucking syndrome going on. But when we get to hear her side of the story properly, the real reason why she's got that gun, she's basically looking to fucking take out Being X. She thinks that gun is going to take out Being X. For someone that is extremely smart, that's fairly fucking stupid. Being X is obviously not a human being with a physical form, unless she thinks that she can kill Being X whilst he's in physical form. But no, you just end up killing a fucking human being. But X. So that was also interesting. So maybe that could be part of a plot that we're getting, I guess. So overall, I spoke a lot more than I thought I was going to, but so overall this was a slower paced episode. Not much happened in plot progression, but we did in plot progression, we didn't really get that far, but we did get a bit more of a bit more world building. We got a few more characters, we got a little bit of character development, and we got a bit more plot. Well, we got a bit of a new plot, so with her in the battalion and what Tanya's going to be doing now. So I guess we get plot progression. So it just felt kind of slow. Anyways, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you guys enjoy it? Well, for you guys who do watch it, because I know quite a few people dropped it, but I still am enjoying it. I'm interested to see where this is going. Let me know your opinions. If you enjoyed this review, hit me a thumbs up. It means a lot. If you think I left a few points out, let me know in the comment box down below. If you have a few points as well, feel free to talk ahead. Do subscribe, as I make regular anime, manga, otaku reviews, and it'd be pretty cool to see you guys soon. Have a great day. Otaku Chris is talking. Peace. Oh shit. I said peace because that's normally where I cut the video, and like the end video, the stop recording button was nowhere near where I pressed stop. Don't know why I'm telling you guys this. Anyways, it's kind of awkward.